Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Esports Ohio and our Gwoop Academy. And getting started with Gwoop Academy. Gwoop is one of our awesome partners here at Esports Ohio, and we have been working with them since spring of 2021, and we just got them here in the fall, and they are doing some tremendous things. We are here with their CEO, and it's going to be a great time. They're going to talk all about it. So I'll let Gavin introduce himself here, and we also have our president, Nick Ryder, here as well. So let me stop talking and we'll kick it right on over to Gavin. Gavin, go ahead.
Thanks, Nix. Appreciate you guys having me on. Again, Gavin Lee, CEO, co-founder of Gwoop. And for those of you that don't know, Gwoop is an online esports training platform, really focused on improving the cognitive and physical skills of esports. So we're excited to partner with ESO and several other leagues to really just help grow esports across the Scholastic community.
Excellent. Thank you. We really appreciate it. You have a terrific platform. So, what was the whole purpose here? You just got a bunch of guys together and you're just like, hey, man, like, let's just build this platform to train people. Like, and everyone was just like, yeah, this is a great idea. Or, like, where did you decide, okay, no, like, there actually is something here that might be very beneficial to future players?
Yeah, absolutely. So, from the beginning of my life, I've been playing video games, right? But I'm a little bit older, so there wasn't high school esports when I went through high school, but I was a competitive Halo player, Halo CE.
Me
So
too.
obviously I'm
Me too.
I'm very excited for T minus what 34 days when
34.
yeah, when Halo Infinite comes out. But I was a competitive athlete as well. And no matter what sport you play, football, basketball, baseball, you don't play a game 7 days a week, right? You train, you drill, you lift weights. And that's been ingrained since, since you first enter those sports, that's what's going to happen. With esports, most people just play the game over and over and over again. And so Gwoop was founded on the premise that there are ways to improve your reaction time, memory, mouse control by doing these repetitive drills like we do in traditional sports. And so that's why we built the platform.
Absolutely. And I've got to tell you, as a coach, and starting this out and building the league like we have, we are getting hundreds of new coaches all the time, and they're always looking, like, how do you do that? How do you run your program? How do you do all these things? And we have coaches that have been doing this. We've had some that have been doing this as long as I have, for about 5 or 6 years. I'm going to go talk to another coach here down in Lima here probably within the next day or two, and we're going to start a program there. I actually just reached out to a friend of mine who's starting an entire new program in Virginia. So it's absolutely crazy. And I said, one of the things you really should check out is this Gwoop thing. And one of the reasons I said is, one, their CEO is brilliant and devilishly handsome, clearly. So this is something you should definitely see. But the biggest thing was, if you have no idea about any games that you're gonna play, if you have no idea where you're going to start and what you're going to do, this will give you a starting point that anybody, even if you've never coached anything, can really determine. And one of the biggest things that I really, really liked about this was, again, we are taking a lot of kids that are getting into esports, and this is their first thing. They've never played competitively. They've never been on a team. And like you said, Gavin, they've never actually had to train or do anything like that. So when we're talking about this, we get right here to the website, and you log in, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a great user interface. But the whole point that that was totally selling to me was, here's something I can kick a kid into. And even if I have no idea about League of Legends or Fortnite, or if I have no idea about Smash Bros. Or any title that you're playing, for whether it's Esports Ohio or any other league that there is, you can see what they're doing, how they're doing, all of these different kinds of things. And I love the gaming warm up. I love that. I'll get to that in a second. But all of these different things, like you were saying, test a certain type of skill. And again, that repetition. And it really helps to cut down, at least for me, on wasting time before practice, wrangling them all up, and then making sure that when we actually jump into a game, whatever the game is, that they're able to actually be in the right mindset. My kids have a 9 period day, and that's a lot to take in. They come in, they're a little bummed, they're a little miffed, or whatever the case may be, and then they get what I call solo queue syndrome. They'll just jump right into the game and they'll solo queue, and oh, I can do all this great stuff, and and they don't realize, like, now that we're on a team, we've got to play with the team. And so I can sit here and take a look at any of these awesome mini games. Like, here's one of them, just to get their mind to get where they need to go, and they can start practicing. And it's pretty simple. This is just testing reaction time, and all you do is sit here and wait for it to happen. And you wait, and you wait, and you click, and I'm old, so that's not good. But again, the idea being, you're seeing what can happen with changes. I like that you talked, because you talked to a lot of like sports psychologists and a couple other people on developing this platform, right? What was supposed to be tested, what that would actually test with.
Exactly, exactly. And a couple things you bring up in key points is we make it as easy as possible. These coaches, students, everyone's really busy, right? This is during the school year, and so we make it as easy as possible for coaches to get on the platform and load their players. Two big things that you said was one, it doesn't matter what game you play. We built Gwoop to be genre agnostic, right?
Hmm.
We're trying to train the best athletes, right? So whether you're an FPS player, MOBA player, sports, whatever it may be, um, our games help those players improve, right? And the other
Absolutely.
piece is accessibility. We're web based on
Hmm.
purpose
Hmm.
because we know a lot of schools don't necessarily have those huge gaming rigs, right?
Hmm.
So if you want to be on your Chromebook or
Hmm.
MacBook or whatever it is, it's web based. So jump on in and start playing those games.
Absolutely. Again, you have a leaderboard system, you have a team system. And so, again, I can start looking at all these analytics and statistics and really start figuring out some things well before we jump into a match, whether we are going to jump into a practice. Where do we need to really focus on? If we're going to play Valorant, or we're going to play something that requires very, very small micro precision type of things and good reaction time, I can sit there and say, okay, like, man, you're shooting really high right now on this reaction level one, like 234 milliseconds. That's not really great. But if I go up to the top here and I'm looking at like Joaquin or any of these things, like some of these are very, very, very big. And again, this is your overall leaderboard, but you also have your team's leaderboard, which is just right there as well. So I mean, you can have any of your teams right here, which is great. My kids apparently think pod racing is cool. Star Wars nerds. But again, it's very in depth, and you don't have to set any of this really up. I mean, you build out the teams, you let them do it, and then you set goals. You yourself at Gwoop actually have challenges, which I make my kids do, which is nice. Takes that off my shoulders. I don't actually have to set up anything there. And again, I'm starting to get data. How accurate are they? What's their reaction time? This is my best. This is my current score. See, the gray hair, it leaches into my brain, and then it just takes the reaction time right out of it. It's just not good, not good at all. But again, it tells us what kind of improvement we're seeing. And this is one of those things that's just absolutely phenomenal, because it even shows us the times and the reaction data. Are they actually getting better, or are they actually not concentrating? The biggest thing for me, too, is where I can sit there and say, okay, are you ready to practice? Because these times right here tell me you're not. So if you're not ready to practice, we're not going to practice until everybody's on the same page. And again, I don't need to know anything about a game or anything to do that. I can literally just sit here and look at the data, and each of the games tells me what it actually tests, which is
Yeah.
amazing. You're customizing more. We did the FPS Arena when you first showed this to me. That's come a long way. The keyboard speed. I love this one. This is one of my absolute favorites. Again, with MOBAs especially, you have tons of different keys you need to learn. You can customize all of the different kinds of keys you want to learn, how they work, what they work, again, what's supported in it. You already have pre-selected ones here for us. So again, like, this is one of those things, and I teach psychology and I teach my kids this a lot. I was like, if you're communicating and you're trying to do all these different kinds of things and then take all that input and then put it down here and then try and tell somebody else to do some other input, you can only do so much of that at a time. So until it becomes rote and that muscle memory like you were talking about, it's just really, this is just great. I mean, I have customized about 3 of these myself for Overwatch and other people. Several of my kids run their own type of Valorant setups, so I make them and we customize this for them so that I can see what the reaction time is on that. And it's great. It's an absolutely phenomenal platform, and it's one of those things. And the best part about it that I really like is it's free, right? The bottom tier here,
It is
absolutely,
free.
it's
It is
great.
free.
But then you also offer like way more in-depth analytics. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, and so jumping back just a little bit, Nick was one of our first users on the platform, and so a lot of this was built based on feedback from the Nicks and from the gamers of this world, and so Nick can attest to what it looked like, a year ago to what it looked like 6 months ago to what it is today. So with this feedback, we'll continue to iterate, add new features and functionality, and continue to improve. One big piece of it is people love the data and analytics. So if you click on training stats, Nick, I mean, you can dive deep into the game specifically, look at your trends on the graphs, depending on what games you're playing, your accuracy, your reaction time, and that goes a long way. When you create a Teams account as a coach, which is also free, you can look at these graphs of your players and begin to see, how they're improving, what kind of effort they're putting in. To the sport, so it's really been beneficial for a lot of people.
Absolutely, because again, let's say I knew nothing about this. Let's say I knew nothing about this. My kids wanted to do a really fun thing, and esports is a really cool thing, and a lot of them said, "Hey, yeah, let's do it." This literally says accuracy training data, and they want to do, I don't even know, let's say Valorant, let's say MOBA, let's say anything. There's always some kind of element of accuracy. And
Hmm.
again, I can sit here and say 100% accuracy. Wow, they were really on their game right there. But I'm also looking, man, they haven't done this for 7 months. So
Exactly.
clearly this is something that I need to get on them about, because this would be very helpful, and I can attest to this for one of our Valorant matches last week. Would have been exceptionally important, and definitely something that they might have been fudging some numbers to me that I can actually take and then come back to and say, no, you actually weren't able to do this correctly. It's a phenomenal platform. Absolutely love it. But then you do this, you build this great platform, and then you're going to offer us some grant money too. Like you have lots of different grants. I know several people that have actually won your grants. So can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, so there are three ways to win money for your esports team. The one that you probably have heard of the most is just the one that's public out there, the Gwoop Esports Enablement Grant, where we have three $2,500 grants out there that anybody can apply for. And so it's really exciting to really be able to enable esports at a much larger level. The other one is the monthly team competition. So if you sign up, it is not a skills based competition. There's several of those out there for those top teams to win dollars. We really wanted to make it effort based, right? So how hard is your team trying? What's the consecutive streak, and what, really what kind of effort are they putting in to improving, right? And so that's what it's about. And so that is $500 per month. You do need to sign up monthly. We have to put To make it legal, we have to put a time constraint in it. So November just started. So, log on to our site, go to the grants and register for that. It literally takes 5 minutes to register and just start training and see where you end up. The last one is because ESO is our partner, and we're really excited about that. And to show our appreciation, there is an exclusive grant, obviously not on our homepage, but Nick will send out the email and plug it into the Discord. But it's a 3-minute application, and you have your chance to win $250 this semester, and that is just for ESO schools. So obviously the selection pool is much smaller.
Excellent. And as a partner, we really do appreciate that. It's one of the greatest things we can offer our schools because we do have a lot of programs that are building. So it's been an absolute privilege to talk with you about this. It's definitely one of the best things that I've seen for kids and just any type of coach, whether you're a veteran coach or you're right in the middle of the road or you're trying to just get something started. I mean, it can be super overwhelming. And you guys have simplified this to such an extent that it just seems like it's almost effortless. I mean everyone says, okay, we've got a turnkey operation, but you really have something here. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Well, I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time, Gavin. It's been awesome to have you here, and on behalf of ESO and Nick Ryder here, we really appreciate all that you do for us and all that you do for your schools elsewhere as well, because I believe you're partnering with quite a few other state orgs. Is that correct?
That's correct. And so we just love helping, enable this growth and seeing the growth across all the states. And that's what it's all about. And one more quick thing to add is, you say it's effortless, but we do offer a free 30-minute team onboarding too.
Oh, awesome. So do
It's
we just
free to
go to
sign up.
contact us? Is that where we go for that?
So right now, because we're granting access when they request a team, there
Sure.
will be a sign up for time slots
Awesome.
in
Awesome.
that email. So, but if you don't get it for some reason, just go to contact us. It all goes to our team, and our amazing community manager Katie will respond, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so they'll just click right on up here, go to sign up for free and figure all this out, sign on up, and then there'll be a team option that they'll be able to use that you'll be able to help sign up a time for like a Zoom call or something that they'll be able to
Exactly.
onboard. Awesome.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Again, I'd have to say your guys' support with this has been great. There were some bugs in the beginning that you quickly addressed, and you have a magnificent clean product. I mean,
Thank you.
it absolutely delivers everything that has been promised, and it continues to be even cooler as it goes. I haven't quite mastered car driving on this yet, though. I mean, it's better than my current driving, but I also hit a deer, so I don't know what that really says about that or not. So, well, Gavin, we really appreciate you being here with us and being willing to talk with all of our coaches. We really appreciate you being able to onboard them with as much as you can. So, from all of us at ESO and here, and Gavin from Gwoop, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in on this. And if you have any questions, please visit us at esportsohio.org or sign up here at gwoop.com. We'd like to thank you all for your time. Have a good day, everybody. So long.
Thanks, everyone.